Hey everybody. Have you ever been to a museum and seen these kinds of decorations on different metal artifacts? You can see here on this glove or this gauntlet, there's a whole lot of really intricate details on the metal. And the same on this knife here and on this ancient lock as well. Well, these details weren't actually carved out by the blacksmith when they made them. They were made using this process called acid etching. And acid etching uses one of these really important chemical reactions involving acids that we're going to learn about in this video. So we've already learnt about the type of reaction when an acid reacts with a base, and that's called neutralisation. So neutralisation is acid plus base and we know that that makes a salt and water. We just learned that in the last video. There's a couple of other types of reactions though that involve acids, and humans have used them, particularly the one in acid etching, for our benefits, but a few other reactions have really harmful effects too. So the reaction that happens in acid etching is where an acid reacts with a metal. So these are often called acid plus metal reactions, funnily enough. So any acid and a metal will go through this reaction. Some of them will go a lot faster than others though. So with acid etching, what they actually do is the artist or the craftsperson paints on this special resin to cover the details that they want to show. So they'll paint it on, they'll paint the resin on really intricately, showing all the details, and then they'll dunk that whole object into acid, and any part of the metal that's exposed will get eaten away slightly, and then the metal that's covered by the resin will be sitting up a little bit higher. Just like on a coin, how there's part of the picture sitting up high and then some of it's a bit lower down too. So then when they take off the resin, then you've got two layers and you can clearly see that design that they've etched into the metal. So our acid and metal example is acid etching. There's a few other examples too, we'll learn about those another time. This is another important acid reaction though. Happens a lot in nature, and this is when an acid reacts with a carbonate. So acid plus carbonate reactions. And you can see here a few examples. Here we've got a statue which is actually made out of limestone. And you can see how there's all these deep grooves that have been gouged in the statue. That's actually because acid rain has fallen on the statue. The acid in the rain has reacted with the limestone of the statue and caused it to basically dissolve away and started to disfigure the statue. So here's another example of acid rain. In some areas, particularly in the northern hemisphere, huge areas of the forests can be killed by acid rain because that acid will land on the trees, it will react with the trees and the wood and actually start to kill them. So our example here is acid rain and limestone. So acid rain actually is caused when lots of sulfur chemicals, which are released as pollution, they actually turn into sulfuric acid up in the atmosphere. And obviously we know how strong sulfuric acid is as an acid. So if enough sulfur pollution gets released, then those clouds can carry the sulfuric acid, they can carry it over to a city or to a forest, and then when it rains, suddenly you've got sulfuric acid raining down, and then it can start to damage anything that's a carbonate or living things as well. Okay, so we need to remember these three main types of acid reactions. And we'll learn about the details of them later.